Okay. Good morning, friends. So I'm excited for the one to that we have today. I was, oh my gosh. Just hold on. Just hold on. I really can't wait to get out of this house because of these dogs. They're driving me crazy. Anyways, okay, so I always say that I'm really excited about the ones that I share, but honestly, every day is a new day, so I get more excited every single day. And this one specifically, I feel like it can speak to people. A lot because when I read it, it spoke to me, and I'm like a story person. I love when people tell stories. Like when I'm at church and my pastor he preaches like stories. That's where I can relate the most. So I just love stories. So this one shares kind of a story. But anyways, this is under the devotional while we wait, and then it says embrace and discover. And so it says, my sons have played soccer since they were 5. They've dabbled in other sports, but have consistently competed in travel soccer. We eat, breathe, and live soccer. So imagine my surprise when my firstborn Chance, at the beginning of his 7th birthday, mom said, "Mom, I want to play football." What? First of all, he's never played American football. Second, his current stature was of a I don't even know how to say that word, miniature human, ranking the smallest in his class. Third, what? I tried to talk him out of it, but then I realized my role as his mom was to foster a safe environment of him for him to try things and make decisions on his own. So he enrolled. 2 weeks in, he said, "Mom, I hate football. Everyone has been playing since they were little, and I'm not good at it. I want to quit." I knew this would happen, but you'll be happy to know I didn't say that. Instead, I said, "Honey, we're never good at things on the first try. And honestly, you may never be the best at football. That's okay. I just need you to put in the effort because you made a commitment. Our family doesn't quit when things get difficult. We work hard so we are better than we were yesterday." Guess who stayed in the whole season? All of us. We go through seasons we loathe. For some of us, we don't know if we can keep going for another day. Maybe you're neck deep in diapers and just want to sleep. Your kids are grown and you question your purpose. You feel trapped in your job, marriage, or life. You're in the middle of a divorce you never asked for. You're picking up the shattered pieces of your heart again. You don't feel the presence of God and you wonder if He's abandoned you. You're in a physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual famine. And it says, Joel 2:25 says, "I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten." God promises restoration. The famine will end. He goes on to say, "You shall eat in plenty and be satisfied. My people shall never again be put to shame." Failure is certain. What matters is how we respond to it. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, more intelligently this time. So embrace failure and let it make you better. Don't stop showing up, don't stop practicing, and don't take yourself out of the game. So I think that this can relate to people in life. It can relate to people in business. It can relate to people in faith, because I think a lot of times, like, it's human nature. I feel like when things get tough, you're instantly complaining and you instantly want to like give up. Okay. I don't know about y'all. There are some people, when people join this business, and they literally quit not even like a day later, that always kills me. I'm not that person, so I'm not going to sit here and describe me as that person. I will literally try something until like I feel like I have given it my absolute all. And so many of us want to give up because things get tough. Okay, life gets tough, business gets tough sometimes, our weight loss journeys get tough. I could literally relate this to a list of things, but a lot of you, or me, I'll say too, because I don't want to count me out because I'm obviously in this, but a lot of us instantly start questioning. And that is when I have found myself questioning what God is doing in my life when things aren't going my way. And instead of me sitting here saying, "God, I am embracing every single moment that you're giving me because I know in this moment that you're making me who I am meant to be," in this failure or whatever, if this is even considered a failure, it's teaching me a lesson. It's showing me the way. And so I was talking to a girl yesterday. She's not on here, but she quit her job that she was already doing. She wasn't happy at it, and she went back to waitressing. And or I don't even know if she's ever waitressed before. I don't know. But she went to school, got her degree and everything, and she went back, or she went to waitressing. And she was like, "I feel like I'm taking so many steps back. I feel like I'm a failure." And I was like, "But what defines that as a failure? Like, what absolutely defines waitressing as a failure?" I waitress for 7 years, and so I experienced that whole life. And if I were to go back to that state, Would I feel the same way? Probably because I've grown out of that to the point where I don't have to do that anymore. But I know that so many of y'all, like, y'all define y'all's failures as an actual failure, when in reality, if someone else was looking into your life, they would be like, that's not a failure. That's literally just like a speed bump, you know? And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I'm really, really hard on myself. And so when I don't get something right away, I instantly claim it a failure. And I'm like, dang it, I suck at this. I failed, instead of just saying, I just didn't get it this time. And that's fine. I'm going to do it again. And so in this business, I feel like I can relate to this a lot, because so many times we push for promotions, or so many times we push for bonuses. I was pushing for, if you're new, I don't know if you know what the island is, but I was pushing for the island, for the company, which is Winner Circle. I am literally light years away, okay? And it's the last day of the month today. So and I'm going to claim it. There's no way I'm earning it. I thought, like, just somehow, some shape or form, I could make it. And I didn't. And I'm trying not to count myself out as being a failure with that, because I know that, guess what? I can just get up and try again. And so if maybe you're relating this to your life, and maybe it says right here, where are the examples again? It says, don't stop showing up, don't stop practicing, and don't take yourself out of the game. So if you do feel like, okay, I failed, I failed, I failed, and you keep using that word, redirect it, just like winning in the war in your mind, or winning the war in your mind, for the book Craig Rochelle, how it always says, replace a lie with the truth. So it's just like that. So instead of saying, oh crap, I'm a failure, or I failed at this, or maybe this just isn't for me, or you start questioning all the things, turn it over to what good has happened. I know for me, the times that I didn't hit my promotions in the business, I was just talking to Dallas, my fiance, about this last night. The times that I did not hit my promotions, it was for my good, you guys. It was for my good, because the times that I would have hit for my promotions, if I would have forced it, I wouldn't have maintained. I wouldn't have gained the people in my life that I needed to at that time. I wouldn't have gained the knowledge, or I wouldn't have gained the hurt or the sense of disappointment that it feels like to not reach that goal. Okay. And that disappointment actually turns into more excitement, because you're like, well, I don't want to feel this again. So I'm going to push even harder. And so I want you to reclaim the truth and say, okay, so whatever has happened in my life, maybe you are on the 15th time that you said you're going to do a diet. Okay. We all know those people. That's me. That was always me. Up until this last year, I was never consistent with anything. But say you're like, I've literally told myself 15 times that I'm going to do a diet, and every single time I fail, I just can't stick with the diet. No, you just haven't found a diet that's right for you. You haven't found something that works for you. I finally found something that works for me, and it's not even technically like a diet, you know? And so maybe you fast, maybe you don't just strictly stick to carbs, or you do keto, or literally there's so many different options. There's literally so many. But just redirect that. And I think a lot of us have to redirect our truth, instead of thinking and questioning what God's doing in our life. And oftentimes, I know for me, especially this past month, it did not go the way that I wanted it to. And nothing bad happened, but I was just like, wow, I thought this month was going to turn out a lot differently for me. Just for like my fiance's business purpose, they told us that it was going to be pushed back even further when we moved down here to even start it in the first place, which is funny, but it'll work out. My enrollments were super, super down for a while, and I was like, goodness gracious, I'm normally a mass enroller. I felt like my team's energy was a little bit down, and so I kind of had to self-reflect for a second. And then there was like a lot of things, like I literally failed. Like I was doing so good on my diet, and then I kind of fell off, and I was like, no, you're not doing this again. You're going to stick the course. And I got back on it, and I'm doing fine. But there's so many different things that happened. I was like, oh, this went a little bit differently. And this whole month I caught myself questioning I was like, God, what are you even doing? God, what are you even doing? And I was sitting here putting the pressure on him, and he remained so silent, you guys. And I tell y'all this all the time, and I'm very transparent with my faith. I'm very transparent on here. That's why I always tell y'all, like, there's not gonna be judgment, because y'all see like the ins and outs of it. Y'all see the ups and downs of like my faith journey, and it's not always easy. But I started questioning him the whole entire time. I was just like, God, what are you doing? And I was like, show me the way, show me peace, give me restoration in this like point in my life, or whatever it might be. And I was asking, and I didn't hear a thing. I did not hear a thing up until like a couple of days ago. And that was a whole month long thing. And I don't want to sit here and say this to scare you guys, but so many of y'all, if y'all don't hear from God, and if y'all don't feel God after y'all speak to him or pray to him once or twice. You're like, I did this wrong. I'm done. I'm a failure. He doesn't want to talk to me. And I actually had someone reach out to me the other day and they're like, how do you pray? Like, how do you actually pray? She's like, I'm always doing it wrong. And I was like, no, I personally believe there is no wrong way to pray to God. Okay. When my fiance prays, I told you this the other day, but for the new people in here, when my fiance prays, he's like, so God, what's up? I just want to say thank you. Like, he's super just kind of hood with it. Like, it's really funny. I love it. So that's just his personality, and that's how he does it. And that is 100% okay. And so when she was like, I just do it wrong. And I think we think that we do the wrong things because we just don't hear God move, or we don't hear God say, hey, move, or we don't feel his direction or peace or clarity in a certain situation. And so we instantly freak out saying, I'm a failure, or God isn't by my side, or God isn't real. You start questioning these things. And I caught myself doing it this month. And then I was like, no. I was like, God always reminds me, and this is, I'll read this verse again. It says, I will restore you to the years that the swarming locust has eaten. And I don't know if y'all know that story in the Bible. Again, I'm still learning so many books and things in the Bible. So you have to bear with me when I butcher all of these things. But I do know that he sent locusts to a whole town to destroy it because of something. I don't really remember when, but he warned them. And so locusts destroyed the town. And that's what it's saying is, I will restore you to the years that the swarming locust has eaten. So maybe this can apply to, I will restore your years of the time that depression took it away from you. I will restore the times where you've doubted me for so long that you started thinking that you were a failure. I will restore you. And so I want you to kind of reclaim that in your mind over and over and over again. So if you are in this like state where you're just like, I'm not happy, I'm not joyful, I'm stuck, I don't want to be in this job that I have on the side, I don't want to sit here and be a mom to these kids right now because they're acting crazy, and there's certain things that obviously you can't control in this moment. And I hate that feeling when I question God, and I don't want y'all to sit here and have to question God today because maybe he hasn't moved in your life like you wanted to. And there's so many times where we start questioning our abilities because of the state that we're in. I know that for me, Moses and the plagues, locusts were one of the plagues that took over Egypt. Thank you so much, because yes, thank you. I'm still learning all the things. But I personally I just hate that feeling when I start feeling it myself, and then he always comes through. Okay, you guys, when I tell y'all that I went through the my really bad depression stage last year that lasted for 3 months, I literally felt like I was feeling nothing but silence from him. But guess what? Those 3 months ended. Okay. And I heard him. So even sometimes it takes way longer than you expect. And I'm not sitting here saying it's going to take you that long to hear from him. I just felt like maybe I was really in just like a bad headspace to where I was blocking out any type of blessing or blocking out any type of good thing coming to me. So I think that was kind of self-inflicted. But I just want y'all to know that don't give up if you don't hear or see him or move in the right way that you want to, and don't start putting it on yourself, asking yourself, okay, do I even have the ability to do this? If God gave you a vision, you have the ability to do it. You probably don't have the full capacity and ability to do, because we're not supposed to do things alone. We're not meant to do things alone. God's supposed to be on our side. He always tells us that. And so we just have to lean on him, have the faith, and just believe that he's here for the good. And it's not like he's sitting here punishing you. I know a lot of people are like, well, I feel like I'm being punished because I'm constantly going through bad things in my life. There are some people on this team that I feel like they go through hell every single day. Every single day they're posting something new about something that's going on in their life. And I can't sit here and judge that, but I do know that if you are focused on the bad, that's what you're going to start expecting. If you focus on the good, that's what you'll start expecting. So if you're like not playing the victim mindset, not saying, God, why are you doing this to me? But saying, God, I know you're doing this for me. I know you're going to carry me through it, and just have this confidence. And it's not going to be an overnight thing. Sometimes you have to practice at it time and time again. That's why I tell y'all consistency and just leaning in your Bible and like reading your devotionals and things like that are so important, because it builds up that faith muscle. It builds up that work, like that muscle for you to be able to just trust God in the seasons where you do not feel like you can handle it. Okay. And the one thing that I heard yesterday from a book that says, that's called Think Like a Monk. That's what I'm listening to right now. Kami Pentecost challenged us to listen to it. And it said right in the book, and I'm going to butcher this too. I'm really bad at butchering stories. If y'all don't know this by now, but I feel like y'all do. It was saying that they did like an experiment where they put trees in like this indoor facility, and they noticed the trees were doing good. They grew, they had enough oxygen, all the good things. They did good for a while, and then they would just fall. And that's when he was like, they figured out what was wrong, and it was because the wind. They didn't have any circulating wind in the area that it was enclosed in. And so the wind, he was saying, he uses as like an example, as wind for the trees helps them hold their stature. Like it helps them be able to be content in the storms and life storms and the things that happen in the earth, and like the bad waves, winds, and like the bad storms that you get. The winds are there to help the tree go stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. If they don't have the wind, they're instantly going to fall. So do you not think that all the things in your life that are constantly happening with you, not to you, but with you and for you, they're building you up so you can continue to be like, it's like building a house, like brick by brick. Every single brick is building you to become like this beautiful, beautiful masterpiece. And I want you to think of it like that. And when he said that, something just went off in my head. I was like, that's such a good, like, that's an actual scientific fact about freaking wind with trees. So why would it not be true for you? And so many of us just think that all the battles that we go through in life, it's just happening like to us. And it's just like, no, this is always for our good, even the most traumatic things. And I can't speak on this because I know this is kind of like a touchy state, because people do go through really traumatic things, and goodness, I pray for people that go through those things. Like that just like hurts my heart. But even through those things, you have goodness to happen out of it. You have something, it could give you a different perspective. I know when I was in my wreck a couple of years ago, gave me a whole new perspective on life, gave me a whole new meaning on life. Okay. And so when things happen like that, you kind of have to twist it and turn it and be like, okay, God, what is the vision that you want me to see from this? If you are not where you want to be at in this business, say, God, okay, how can you use me, and how can you walk me in the direction of where I'm supposed to go? Say, okay, what good can I see come out of this day today? And I've challenged all this, and I'll challenge y'all again. Write down all the good things that come into your life. Write it down on a piece of paper, or if you're someone who wants to be super convenient, I do it in my notes section because I'm like not always sitting at my house. I'm always on the go. And so I'll write things on my notes, and I'll be like, you know what? Someone shared a compliment with me today. That made my day. Or I just got $5 randomly. That was so nice. Oh my gosh, I just got like 20 comments on this post that I didn't even know it would blow up. Nice. Oh, well, I drank all my water today. Like, nice. Now I feel great. I have energy today. Literally all the little things. And we tell y'all to do the gratitudes, because gratitudes are going to allow you to just become in that grateful state for you to be able to receive anyways, and just for allow you to be present. Start doing that and see the goodness that comes into your life. And I promise you, it's going to give you a different perspective. So hopefully that helps. Let me stop this recording.